Hi guys, so we are back on the SBL December 2023 paper, the NC Tech paper. In this part, we will be doing task 2 of this paper. For task 2, let me read the requirements first and see this task here, task 2. The current NC Tech board structure and membership has stayed unaltered since the company listed on the Farland Stock Exchange 5 years ago. So this is what we noticed in the pre-scene as well, that since the time the company got listed on Farland Stock Exchange, it's been 5 years now, and since 5 years, no change in the board of directors has happened till date. However, 2 board members are due to retire in the next year. Only 2 are going to retire. The chair of the nominations committee believes that consideration should be given to more diversity on the board as part of NCTEC's succession planning. Now, what is happening is the nominations committee's chair, he is highlighting that we should consider making the board more diverse. That means people coming from different backgrounds, different cultures, different experiences, different industries. That diversity is needed in the board as per the chair of the nominations committee. That means currently the board lacks diversity. So the question itself is highlighting that the current board structure lacks diversity. You need to start doing the answer and question with me. Here, highlight wherever you are writing that currently the board structure of NCTech lacks diversity. Another thing, it has been unaltered since the company was listed on the Farland Stock Exchange 5 years ago. That means since last 5 years, this board membership has been unaltered. These are 2 important things which I am getting from this paragraph which is there in the task. He has asked you to advise him on issues related to board diversity. Who has asked you? The chair of the nominations committee. Write a briefing paper to the chair of the nominations committee which explains how NCTech could benefit from a more diverse board of directors. First thing I would like to highlight here, there have been many questions on board diversity since years. So this is a very important topic because this is something which is related to governance of a company, and you are dealing with the paper which talks about leadership. So in leadership, the basic first rule is maintaining diversity in the board of directors, right? And based on this, you will find many questions in the exam. So be prepared on this. However, the question is clearly asking you to explain the benefits which a company may get from a diverse board of directors. It is going to be a general answer, but we need to tailor it with NCTech's case. If you write only the general points, most likely the examiner will not give you marks. That means you will have to connect the general points to NCTech's case. How will we do that? We'll do that. But first, as my practice, I'll take the requirement and the question to my answer sheet. Here is the answer sheet, and we are answering to task 2. I will just note down the requirement here to understand what is needed from us, what is the information available with us, because in the case only you will get the answers. Now, what am I supposed to write? The format should be a briefing paper. To whom briefing paper is to be written? To whom? The briefing paper, I am just using BP. You don't write BP in the exam. It's just for us to understand. To whom are you going to write the briefing paper? Briefing paper is to be written to the chair of the nominations committee. What must be included in the briefing paper? What are we going to include in the briefing paper? Explanation on the benefits of a diverse board of directors, or how NCTech can benefit from a diverse board of directors. Okay, I've simplified the question here. That means now we know what is the requirement. It has to be in the form of briefing paper. I need to address the briefing paper to the chair of the nominations committee. What should be the contents of the briefing paper? How NCTech can benefit from the diverse board of directors. That means if diversity is maintained on the board, how will NC Tech benefit from it? So it has to be a general answer but connected to NC Tech's case. Okay. For 10 marks I need to write. That means I need to carry on the discussion for approximately 4 to 5 points. I can remove this part now. Why didn't I remove the first paragraph? Because this has got some important points. What are those important points? Some problems which are there with the current system. What is that problem? Problem number 1 is the board structure has stayed unaltered since last 5 years. This is something which I should not miss on. Okay, wherever you are writing, write this point that the structure has been unaltered since it was registered on the since it was listed on the Farland Stock Exchange 5 years ago. One is this. Number 2, diversity is missing on the board. Okay. So there are 2 issues which I got here, and I need to ensure that I am writing around these 2 issues also in my answer. Because when we will say that a diverse board is needed, we need to mention that here in case of NC Tech, it misses diversity. It lacks diversity. Okay. Number 2, we need to talk about changing the board of directors, right? There should be a rotation on the board of directors. They should be reappointed, or we need to hire fresh people. But staying unaltered since last 5 years. If the board is unaltered, that means you are going absolutely stagnant. You are not inviting new people in the board. So this is how we will talk about the benefits, that if new people come, the board of directors get a fresh energy, a fresh set of ideas from new people. But here in NC Tech's case, the board of directors they have stayed unaltered since last 5 years. So we will connect these points like this. On staying unaltered, we will talk about the benefits, that if alteration happens, new ideas keep on coming, but NC Tech has been unaltered since last 5 years. So this is how we will write this answer and use this point. Number 2, when we will talk about the diversity of the board, when we will give the benefits of the board, we will clearly mention here that NC Tech's board lacks diversity. Okay, this is how we will use these 2 points. Let me just take these 2 here, so that I don't miss writing on these, and we can clearly start removing this part. So we can remove it now. Okay, now I have a clear picture what I'm going to do. But before we do that, now I need to revisit the pre-scene, because the pre-scene had the information on the board structure of NC Tech. So let's revisit the pre-scene where the board structure was given. Yes, here is the board structure on page 7. Okay, do you see the board structure? There is a non-executive chair, then there is a chief executive officer, the CEO. He is one of the co-founders of the company. He is the founders of the company. Then non-executive directors, they are 5 in number. Don't you think there are too many non-executive directors here? However, they have got other executive directors as well. They have a finance director, they have a commercial director, they have a marketing director, then HR director and operations director. Let's just count how many executive directors are there and how many non-executive directors are there. So non-executive are 5 here, plus the chair is also non-executive. So effectively 6 non-executive people sitting on the board. And when we see the executive directors, they are also 6. It's a very high ratio. You are giving too much importance to non-executive directors on the board. It can be good, that's absolutely fine. But then you remember those limitations and challenges attached with non-executive directors, because they are not full-time employed. Lack of their time can invite troubles for the business. You remember those points where the non-executive directors, why keeping all NEDs is not a good idea for a business, because they sometimes do not know the minor points of a business. They give very less time to the business. They sometimes do not attend all the meetings. Their focus does not lie on the company because they are NED in that company or non-executive director. So having NEDs is wonderful, but all NEDs or majority NEDs can be troublesome also. So we may talk about that part here, that NEDs are too many in this business. Okay, one is this. Please note that down. However, executive directors, they have created a good team. Now they have subcommittees, the risk committees there, nominations committees there. They are also run by majority non-executive directors. Did you see that? Remuneration committee comprising 3 non-executive directors and 1 human resource director is there with them. So again, that's good to have non-executive directors, but too many non-executive directors can be troublesome here. Okay, then comes fully compliant with Parliament Corporate Governance Code. So they comply with the Corporate Governance Code. We should highlight this aspect also, that this is good conduct from their end. So now we have noted down 2-3 points. I don't have to take everything from here, but still, let us write down some points of concerns related to the board structure of NC Tech. First consideration I saw was lack of diversity. We have seen here lack of diversity on the board, that we have noticed. Unaltered, that we have noticed, already taken. So we have taken 2 points so far. You please keep on writing with me. Then the third one which we noticed was too many NEDs, or what should we write on this? Over hiring or over reliance on NEDs. Okay, over reliance on NEDs. Okay. Change we have seen, we have noticed that they comply with the Parliament Corporate Governance Code. This is the next part. Another point, let's add on one more point so that we cover the content equivalent to 10 marks. One more point, whatever you want to add on to. Diversity will cover many things. Can we say less number of executive directors on key committees? When we saw here, the committees, here everyone is non-executive director. How will all these non-executive directors come to know of the challenges which may be faced by the people who are doing the actual accounting? There should be someone who is an executive director also. At least he can put in front of the committee what are the real challenges related to books of accounts or financial reporting which the team actually faces. Likewise, here remuneration committee, nobody is there. Okay, so that is fine. Risk committee should have, it has a commercial director, operations director, others are not needed. Risk committee doesn't need anyone from the IT side, anyone from the finance side, anyone from the marketing side, no one needed from the risk committee. See, the marketing director can always tell, what are the challenges and what are the risks of a particular campaign. The finance director can tell what are the challenges or the risks associated with accounting, where the lapses can happen, where unauthorized access to books of accounts can happen. Only keeping the commercial director and the operations director, won't it invite some less inputs coming from the people who are really involved in execution? Yes. That means executive directors are not on key committees of the business, be it audit committee, be it risk committee, that can pose a problem for NC Tech. So let us highlight that point also, because it's a 10 marker question. We should at least discuss on 5 points. So lack of executive director representation on the key committees of NC Tech. Okay. So we will discuss the whole answer around these 5 points. This is just the structure of how we'll go about the answer. We need to create full details on it one by one. Okay, you just note down first these and then we'll go ahead with writing the answer. Once you all are done with it, okay, you can pause the video and keep these points as written and then we can start again. Okay, now I'll begin my final answer from here. What am I supposed to write? The format. The format is the briefing paper. Briefing paper has got a particular format. What is that format? We need to give a title. Title is briefing paper on what, or briefing paper to whom. That is the title. Briefing paper to the chair of, who is asking? The nominations committee. Nominations committee chair, you are addressing the briefing paper to the chair. Okay. Now, the briefing paper or whatever it be, you should first have an introduction paragraph. Always give an introduction paragraph. Then there should be the main body where you will be discussing all these 5 bullet points which we have kept aside for our discussion, and then give a small conclusion. This is how the format of a briefing paper must go. Okay, just note this down. The next thing, take care that we can use headings in this question. Use headings. Why? When we will talk about the benefits of diversity, we need to give a heading that what benefit we are going to discuss. That's one. Number two, also give some challenges with diversity on the board. However, there will be very less challenges, but still, when we are, however, the question is asking about the benefits only, we need to give the benefits. Just 1 line or 2 line, just give a problem, because here the problem would be finding the correct people to fit into your board. Talent hunt is a problem here. Okay, so just 1 liner or 2 liners, just add on it कि whatever benefits have been briefed in the above paragraphs, they do come up with a challenge of talent hunt. It's not very easy to find people of the best fit to be hired on the board. Okay. Now let's begin. We are here. So briefing paper, I have given the heading here, the briefing paper. What introduction should I give? Why all this discussion started? That should be your introduction. That means the task gave you some background. What is the background? 2 board members are retiring. The board membership has stayed unaltered since 5 years. Now considerations are being given to making the board more diverse, or that is the point of discussion in the briefing paper. Okay, that means the introduction should restrict on these areas only. We need to cover these points in the introduction. The current NC-Tech board structure lacks diversity. At present, the retirement, was it retirement or what? Yes. The retirement of 2 board members is also due. Stands due is, let's write, stands due in the next year, which has led to a consideration of bringing in diversity in the board of NC-Tech. two directors are resigning. One, you haven't changed anything since you got listed on the stock exchange. The same board of directors, the same board has been operating since last 5 years. Just refine the language. I am just trying to cover up the points around which you should write. How will you refine the language? See that. The current NC-Tech board structure lacks diversity and it has been operating without any change since last 5 years. This is the alteration which you can do. At present, when the retirement of 2 board members is due in the next year, the chair of the nominations committee has realized or is considering bringing diversity on the board of NC-Tech. Okay, so this is just an idea on these sentences so that we can structure them as per our own English strength and English vocabulary. But you need to write around this. This is how the introduction should look. Now let's start talking about the advantages of diversity on the board for NC-Tech, right? We have to cover how NC-Tech can benefit from diverse board of directors. Let me take it here. This is the requirement which we need to fulfill in the main body of the briefing paper. Okay. Just give one line sentence or one line explanation on to what you are going to discuss now. Diversity in the board of directors. Diversity in the board of directors is needed in the current business scenarios. As they help organizations in many areas. The benefits of a diverse board, are explained below. Okay, always give this sentence so that you are telling the examiner that what discussion can be expected from the upcoming paragraphs. The first discussion or the first point, I must say. When you have diverse board structure, what is the best benefit which you get? Expertise coming from different areas, right? So the first title, the first heading of the benefits of having a diverse board we will take is bringing in diverse experience on the board. That's the first thing you should write down as your point. See, why do we look for diverse board of directors or board structure is so that we can bring in talent from different industries, different sectors. When diversity is there on the board, diverse experiences also come on table. Now, what will you write here? You need to simply mention this: people coming from different backgrounds, people coming from different experiences on the board of directors can bring in relevant and new and fresh ideas for any organization. In case of NC-Tech, new people working together can think in new ways, can give new solutions to different challenges, different opinions, fresh perspectives, giving and leading to stronger and more effective strategies and implementation decisions. Okay, so this is how you will give a explanation on this. You can pause the video, rewind it back, and then write this matter on it. Because different people coming from different experiences, their difference in opinion, fresh perspectives, fresh ideas, can give stronger strategies, new strategies, better solutions to problems of NC Tech. Okay, so one line, give a general line how diversity brings fresh ideas and new experiences on the board, and then connect it with NC Tech. So first sentence has to be general, then next has to be connected with NC Tech. The second benefit with which a diverse board will bring for you. So when we just wrote down these 5 bullet points, just ensure you remember that you have to add on these points here. Lack of diversity on the board. Do mention it here that since 5 years, no new member has been added to the board of directors of NC Tech. Adding diversity to the board will add on new ideas for NC Tech, new solutions for the problems which NC Tech faces. Okay, so lack of diversity since last 5 years, or unaltered, being unaltered, the board being unaltered since last 5 years. Okay, do refer this. Okay, let me just write down this complete. A diverse board brings new experiences and ideas, fresh ideas for any business to have new strategies and new ideas to solve its problems. A diverse board brings new experiences and fresh ideas for any business to have new strategies and new ideas to solve its problems. NC Tech lacks diversity on the board, which stands unaltered since last 5 years. The lack of diversity on NC Tech's board can result in lesser innovative ideas and solutions to business problems. Now, let us talk about other people who can have a different perspective on solving problems. New talent taken up on board of NC Tech can bring new perspective, fresh perspective, let's use fresh perspective, and different opinions to NC Tech's business models. Okay, just write this. Okay, moving ahead on to the second point. Now we were highlighting some problems to cover here. Over reliance on NEDs. This was one of the problem which we noticed in the exhibit or the details which were there in the pre-scene. Let's cover this also. Now, how do we put this that they are relying more and more on NEDs? Okay, let's use this way. We can do this by adding more executive, adding new executive as well as non-executive directors. Now here we will use this part that the company is relying too much on non or it is dependent upon too many NEDs. less representation of executive directors is there on key committees, we'll use both these points in this point. One is this. One is this. And lack of executive representation, another problem. We'll club it here. How do we start? It is always better to have a balanced mix of executive and non-executive directors on the board and major committees and key committees of any organization. NC has given major role or a substantial role, let's say, has given a substantial role to NEDs, which may create dissatisfaction amongst shareholders for NEDs not devoting the required time for NC business operations. NC business operations. Considering this, NC can what should we say? Appoint more executive directors, especially on key committees where the executive directors can participate in the decisions taken by these committees. Basically, we are trying to say that they should be given a say in the committees, its decisions. Having executive directors on the key committees will also ensure their say in the decisions which impact their roles and departments. Okay. So we have talked about the representation of executive directors plus too much reliance on NEDs, that also we have hit here. Now, unaltered we have covered. So ideally we have covered major points which were given by the question, except for compliance with Farland Corporate Governance Code, that we need to ensure here. Okay. Okay, we'll cover it here. This is being done. Diversity, correct. Now let us give some general points related to diversity. We can talk about building image or reputation, building reputation in the corporate community or industry or world. Why does reputation get built when you have diversity on the board? Now, what explanation you are going to write? Whatever I am saying that you need to write. An organization having a diverse board is expected to have experience from different industries, different sectors. This experience is expected to give better strategies for the business, its growth and its journey and revenue generation. It builds more trust for the stakeholders if the board is diverse. Not only the shareholders are happy with a diverse board, but also the suppliers, the customers, they get a surety of the company going in the right direction and using the best possible strategies. This is what you are going to write. Okay. This in overall builds reputation and good name for the business. Okay. This is what you will write. If you want to hear it again, you need to go back to 10 seconds and re-hear what I'm trying to say here. Number 4. What else we can write when we are telling the benefits of diversity on the board of directors? We have said that bringing in diverse experience comes. Okay, let us give it better decision making. Better decision making and critical evaluation of problems. How? Now let us explain this. When people from different backgrounds, different knowledge base are there on the board of directors, the evaluation or going into deep of a problem or its root causes becomes easy, because different people sitting on the table doing a discussion, doing a healthy discussion gives better ideas to solve them. The problem handling and decision making also becomes more effective. In case of NC Tech also, the company has majorly started with reliance on technology related directors. They were there, no? All 3 were software engineers. So the company started with the software engineers being the core directors on the board, but later on they also expanded their operations and their team towards finance director, towards the HR director, but still at many places they can add on more diversity on the board with people coming from different sectors of the organization or different sectors or different sectors of the business, different industries as well. Okay, this company is into cloud computing. We may need someone who is into maybe procurement director. You may need someone, marketing director is already there, but a procurement director may be needed who can just buy things at better rates, who can negotiate on the business models better. He will add on something to the business. This is just an example, but when you're writing better decision making, always focus on people coming from different backgrounds and experiences can add more inputs to the problems, and the solutions to the problems will also be considered to be better when it comes from a lot of brainstorming and discussions. Okay. Now we need to write on the 5th point. What should we write? Ease in carrying on the business operations. Business operations. Why it becomes easy to carry on the business operations? Now imagine a situation where there is a factory, you have a productions manager. Now he will take care of all the production, that production is happening. You do not have any engineer who can take care of the machinery, and the machinery suddenly gets down. It is not functioning. Now, if at that point of time you would have a manager who knows how to make the machine operational, your production would not have stopped. Correct? On the other side, let's suppose now you hire a person who is an engineer and he can handle the machinery as well. Now these two people are a team, the production manager and this engineer who is taking care of the machinery. They keep on producing. They don't know where to stop. They don't know how the quality should be maintained, what type of quality, what stuff or ingredients must be used in the product, which is considered to be good, which is considered to be of poor quality. That means there you need a quality manager also. How much production to be done? You need a manager who can tell them the target. Let's see, this is the target. Now, who will this manager be? He has to be from the sales line, because he only knows how much demand is coming from the market. That only has to be produced. That means when there is diversity on the board of directors, the business operations become flexible, they become easy. If there is problem in one of the domains, somebody from the board can handle it using his own experience. Now, what will you write in the explanation of this point is simple. You have to just see, when an organization is into its operations. If any trouble or if any breakage or any problem or issue arises in between the operations of the business, the wide background and knowledge of the board of directors can always pitch in and give a solution to the problem in place. The diverse set of ideas and diverse set of solutions can always keep the business going. That not only improves the performance but also keeps it going. Okay, so this is what you will write. Now at the ending paragraph, the compliance, NC Tech is complying or ensures compliance with the Farland Corporate Governance Code. However, if some diversity is added to its board, it will add further benefits to NC Tech's business. This is how you need to close your conclusion statement. You need to close the answer. Although NC Tech ensures compliance with Farland Corporate Governance Code, it would be further, it would further enhance its business if NC Tech ensures or brings diversity on its board. Okay, just a closing statement that you are trying to show the examiner that you noticed that NC Tech is compliant with Farland Corporate Governance Code. This is where you mentioned it, but still you are trying to say that that's very good that you are following the corporate governance code, but still it would be better if you bring some diversity on the board to improve your processes or to bring new ideas to take the business one step ahead. Okay, this is how you will build this answer to 10-marker question. However, I have just written the bullets here. You need to explain them well. Okay, now take a 5 minutes break and we should get back on part B of task 2. We are here to see part B also, this. Okay, so take a 5 minutes break and we come back on doing this. Now let's come to the next part, part number B. It starts from here. The Human Resource Director has recently read an article on talent management and believes that the introduction of a talent management program at NC Tech may help recruit new board members and improve workforce planning. Now, before we start on this, let me brief you something on talent management. It relates to two things. One, you have to hire the best people who are suitable for your organization, not based on their experiences, but based on if they fit in your organization's requirements. One, hiring such people. Number two, training them, developing them so that they are retained. You need to retain your best people. And the third part is succession planning. Means if your best people leave, what plan B you have? You need to have a plan in place, because the business cannot work like that the best people are going out and you do not have anyone to take their role. That should not happen. That means talent management considers three major steps. One, hiring the best people who can work as per your goals and to satisfy and achieve your strategic objectives. They may be best at their work, but they may not be best for your organization. So you need to find a best fit, acquiring the best fit. Number two, retaining them. Train them, let them grow, let them get promotions, give them a good culture, let them keep on learning new things. So if they are happy, they will be definitely retained in the business. Now, let's suppose you tried a lot and still people are not retained. Then what should be done? Succession planning should be done. That person, if he leaves, you should have a plan B, how he should be replaced. Who should take his place or who should do the role which he was handling. Okay. So here talent management, they got to know about talent management for the first time. As talent management is a new concept to NC Tech, you have been asked to report back to the HR director about the relative merits of introducing a talent management program at NC Tech. That means you have to tell the benefits or advantages of introducing a talent management program. Write an email to the HR director which evaluates the advantages and disadvantages both to NC Tech of formally adopting a talent management program. Now you have to write an email. Which professional skill you have to showcase? You have to showcase skepticism. Now that's the most troubling part here. How will you show skepticism in this? There is no statement coming from anyone which we can question, which we can have a doubt on, that he may not be saying whatever he is saying may not be correct. How skepticism will be shown in this part? I mean, there is nothing which can deal with skepticism. This makes this question really important. You have to show skepticism by probing into the issues relating to introducing a talent management program at NC Tech. We are saying in the first paragraph in the briefing here that talent management program is very good. Even for NC Tech, it will bring a lot of advantages. But there would be some issues relating to it. This is showing skepticism. Where you believe or where you have a doubt if the benefits will come to NC Tech. We are saying as of now that the talent management program is wonderful. It is going to give a great deal of benefit to NC Tech. Being skeptical means you are doubting if the talent management program may not bring the desired results. One is that. Number two, there will be some issues related to this program. On these issues, you have to do some discussion. That is showing skepticism here. So in two ways, we'll show the skepticism. One, how, or if we are saying that the talent management program is going to be wonderful, how we are going to ensure that it really is wonderful. That is one. We cannot just assume because someone said, we also will agree that yes, it is very good. So yes, we also agree it is very good. No, we need to put up some measures so that we can confirm if really it is beneficial or not. That is one way of showing skepticism on it. Number two, whatever issues relate to talent management program, we need to dig deeper into it, and that too, it has to go in the context of NC Tech. That means the benefits as well as the challenges or disadvantages of talent management program must relate to NC Tech. Okay, so this is a very critical case, and specifically here students in the exam missed, many students missed using and scoring marks under this skepticism point. We'll do both of it, but for that I need to see Exhibit 3 first. Exhibit 3 related to talent management. This is Farland Business Review. What is this Farland Business Review? It was given in the brief. Talent management. It is an article from the Farland Business Review on talent management. Maybe this is a newspaper or maybe a magazine. It has published an article on talent management, and from here we need to pick what are the benefits and will these benefits apply to NC Tech's case. Okay, so this is what we are going to see. Let's open this exhibit first. Managing talent, the route to business success. So everybody agrees that when you manage talent, it actually leads to the business succeeding. In any business, employees are a critical asset, agree, who need to be retained and improved to help deliver success. That means you need to retain them. How will you retain them? When you continuously keep on improving them. I mean, you cannot imagine a person who is sitting in the same position for 10 years. Obviously, you will promote him. That means you need to improve him. More enlightened companies tend to intentionally adopt a structured approach to the management of their talented staff. This is a very critical sentence here because many companies, they deliberately want their people to stay with them. They train them so that somebody from outside is not needed to take a senior position. They develop their people in-house only to take a senior position, senior role. For example, there is an assistant manager. This assistant manager you will notice that he is promoted to a senior manager. You will rarely see that a senior manager is coming from outside until unless it's a different case that there is nobody to get promoted. There are cases when people are not ready for promotion or their tenure has not been fulfilled as an assistant manager. they won't be taken to senior management position. But if somebody is really good at work, has completed his years of experience with being assistant manager, definitely the company likes him only to take the place of the senior manager. This is what companies intentionally adopt. This is a structured approach that people should go ahead in their roles also in the same organization. For that, these companies train these employees also. So talent management seeks to attract, develop, engage, and deploy those employees who are regarded as particularly valuable to a business. As I said, you need to attract good talent, develop them, retain them, and still if they do not want to be with you, then you need to have a plan B of their succession. However, to be an effective tool, talent management needs to be aligned with the business objectives. So this is what we were talking about, that it has to align with the business objectives. People may be talented, but they should suit your profiles. They should be able to handle the work which is needed to be done for your organizational objectives. I mean, I am very talented, but when it comes to creating furniture, I'm good for nothing. Got it? So my talent doesn't work in a case where something else is needed. So whatever talent I may have, that should fulfill the organizational objectives. And this is what very critical point they are saying here. By managing talent strategically, a business can develop a high performance workplace, promoting a learning culture, and ultimately getting the best from its employees. So this is the most important part. We should highlight this also, that a business has to continuously keep on developing its people. They need to promote a culture where the learning is a core value. And then they have to extract the best from your employees. I mean, you can find a diamond which is absolutely raw. That also needs polishing to be sold at worth millions price. The same applies to employees also. You need to get the best out of them. This approach means that the employees can make a really significant contribution to business performance and help to deliver the planned strategy. Yes, definitely we all agree to this, that people is one of the biggest assets of any organization. However, talent management is not as straightforward as it first appears, particularly if the managers are not fully invested in the idea due to work pressure, there is high turnover of disgruntled staff, or the people currently employed are not a good fit for the business. So clearly they have given us a scope where we can show skepticism. Not everything is great with talent management. If the managers are not interested or they do not have time to develop their people because they are already having a lot of work pressure, then your talent management program will not work well. There are staff members who are really pissed off with the company. You cannot convince them. You can convince people who have small problems or issues, but if employees are there who are completely anti the organization, anti working culture, everything is not as per their choice, then you cannot do anything for them. Then the people who are employed, you want to train them, but at the first level, they are not a good fit for the business. Completely not at all. The way I gave an example that I am very talented, but when it comes to making furniture, I'm not a good fit for it. Even if you start training me, I won't be able to build any of the chairs or tables or furniture items. That means I am a completely misfit for the business. There may be significant challenges, but the business benefits make it worth considering. So the end statement is, yes, there may be challenges, but the only thing you need to consider is it is really beneficial for many businesses. Now let's get back to the requirement, and we should start writing the email to the HR director, which gives the advantages and disadvantages of NC Tech. So we are here on the Word document. To part B. Just written the question, and in the meantime, you all can also open your Word document. Now we need to see to whom we have to write the email. To the HR director, right? To HR director. Now, from whom is it coming? Because we do not see this from here, take it here. Okay, because automatically when you are writing an email, it doesn't show like this. You just see to and then the subject. Okay, we'll go as per how we see an email going. Okay, so from, this is from whom? You are the consultant. Then what is the subject? Benefits and, okay, advantages and disadvantages of talent management program. It's getting too long. Let it be about talent management program. Okay. Now, the introduction part. This introduction should talk about what is talent management. Okay. Talk about talent management. And as I told you all, number one, highlight on acquiring talent, acquisition of talent, talented employees. Then two, retaining them, training them, making them promote to next position, giving them higher strategic positions. And third, succession planning. If one of your core members leave the organization or core employees leave the organization, what is your plan? So do not talk about all three, just talk in a paragraph. Let me just tell how you can talk about it. Talent management is a strategy. We can make use of the this also. So talent management is a strategy or a process used by various companies to attract talent to the organizations. With the talent management programs in the organizations, they develop, train and promote the employees internally. This not only saves costs for the companies when they have to hire the people from outside for senior roles, it also gives a sense of motivation and satisfaction to the people within the organization when they get promoted. So I'm talking about two things here. One, the organizations get benefited because from outside when they hire someone, the new candidate comes at a high cost. And the person who is already working with you, he gets motivated because he can see his promotion lying and he keeps on improving his performance because he can see his growth within the organization also. So this is a small paragraph which we will write about talent management. Give a small introduction only. Then give a single line. There are many advantages related to talent management programs which can be availed by NC Tech or which are available to NC Tech. So this is the opening sentence which we will write for giving the advantages of the program. There are many advantages and just which advantages of talent management program which can be availed by NC Tech. Now we can use headings. Advantage number one. With talent management program, when you train your people, what happens? Their performance enhances. Their performance improves, right? So performance improvement. Now, what will you explain in this? A talent management program focuses on hiring a talented candidate in the first instance. Then to make that candidate or to use the best out of that candidate, the companies, the entities or organizations regularly keep on training these employees, making them more suitable and adaptable to the business needs. This regular training, regular focus on improving the performance of employees improves their performance, leading to better results for the business. This not only brings better results for the business, it makes it easy to achieve the organizational objectives as well. Okay, so this is what you will write in the explanation to this point. But you remember the performance, the professional skill marks related to showing skepticism. How will you show skepticism here? We are saying that talent management program enhances the performance of employees. Does it really enhance the performance of the employees? Having this questioning mind is showing skepticism. Now, how will you show that? Will you directly write, really will the employees' performance improve? Not like this. Showing skepticism must be through a simple sentence. How? The performance of the employees can be evaluated through an apt KPI or an indicator. The performance or the improvement in the performance of employees can be seen or can be reviewed with an apt KPI. When you are saying that if there is an improvement in the performance of employees, to check that, the company should identify a KPI. This sentence in itself is showing that you are portraying skepticism in this. Because here in this question, there is no statement which you can doubt on, which you can create a question on. There is no statement as such. Now, how will you show skepticism? There are many benefits related to talent management program. Show that is it really beneficial to that extent. How will you measure it? Keep some KPIs to measure the performance of the employees. Okay, this is how you will show skepticism in this point at least. Now, the second point. Okay, now let me just take you to, this is a 16 marker question. That means 4 advantages, 4 disadvantages should be good to discuss. Second advantage. What second advantage do you see when talented people are hired in an organization? Let us go into this step only. Acquiring them, retaining them, and succession planning. If you hire people, right set of people, you try to retain them, you try to train them. What is the advantage of training them internally? It motivates, motivation for employees. That's another advantage of introducing a talent management program. What will be the explanation to it? If a talent management program provides for scope of training and scope of growth for its employees, it strives at with an aim of developing whole set of employees across the organization. This keeps the employees motivated who work continuously with their loyalty towards the achievement of organizational goals. Okay? That means if this training system or developing people within the organization is working well, it motivates employees a lot, because employees know that their efforts will be rewarded. So mention this point also. The talent management program also rewards employees when they work with full rigor and with full capacity in the name of promotions or increments or other rewards. Okay, so it acts as a motivation for the employees. Then let's talk about succession planning. Succession planning. Now, when the organization has key people who are handling a lot of areas and activities, or maybe one area or very critical activities handled by one employee, and this employee leaves, your talent management program focuses on his succession also. Now, what will you write here in the explanation? The program, the talent management program, focuses on retaining the best people within the organization. But still, if a replacement of a key employee is needed, now let's connect with NC Tech. As is happening with the retirement of 2 directors of NC Tech. In such a situation, the talent management program can develop a plan of creating a replacement for your key personnel by shaping the employees, by training them to get promoted, by locating if any employee can be taken to senior positions, are some of the efforts which are done by talent management program to fill the positions internally, which further adds on to the morale of the employees. Okay, this is what you will write in succession planning, and how succession planning becomes an advantage for the businesses. Because talent management automatically keeps a plan B, that if somebody leaves the organization, there is a junior who is regularly being trained to take the senior position quickly. Okay. Now, fourth benefit which I'll take from the this exhibit, that why some of the entities are using it deliberately. Where did we read that? This part. Many companies are taking it intentionally. They are creating a structured approach for their talented staff. So I'll hit as an advantage on this. It brings cost effectiveness, okay, the advantage, let us refine the title of the advantage. Better cost and efficiency management. How? Now in the explanation, right. If a company's key personnel leave, to replace that personnel, the company has usually to invest more amount. But when the company regularly keeps on training its employees, then the position is, in most cases, most likely to be filled with the people within the organization. These people also see an opportunity to grow within the organization, so there is less chances of them leaving the organization for growth. By retaining them, the company effectively saves a lot of cost. And by training them, the company is making them efficient, where they are working with more productivity, which in return helps the organization achieve its objectives with more efficiency. Okay, so these are the four advantages which you will write. But can we add some skepticism points here? Under succession planning, we are saying that somebody can always come up and take the position of the senior. Is it essential? So here, right, consideration must also be given to certain cases where even after due training and the talent program, it becomes difficult to find a perfect fit to the senior role, from internal recruitments or internal promotions or increments. So just adding this line means you are showing skepticism that even if succession planning is done very well by talent management programs, still there can be cases when it is difficult to promote someone. Just imagine here, let's suppose the example which I took, the AM assistant manager is working since last 1 year, but to get promoted to a senior manager, you need to have an experience of 3 years. Now, even if he's really talented, you are putting in a lot of training to train him, still the requirements to get promoted to the next position doesn't get fulfilled. So you need to, at that place, you need to find some other source where you can fill this position. So this can be an area where you can show skepticism under point number 3. Now let us talk about the disadvantages or challenges, with the talent management programs. What is the disadvantage? Let's be general and let's be generic on this. Number 1, lack of support across the organization. Lack of support across the organization. Why did I say that? See, there are, let's suppose, 10 directors sitting in. 4 agree that a talent management program should be introduced. Is it essential that everybody will agree? Many may come up saying this is just a wastage of money. You won't attain anything. That means lack of consensus can always be there on any launch of program. It's not about talent management program only. There will be people who will not be agreeing to the idea of any program getting introduced. because they may be having that doubt that if this program will really work well for the organization, we are investing money, will it really give those results? Lack of support across the organization for any program is the biggest problem. So this is the disadvantage. Even in NCTech's case, you can write there may be lack of support from any of the directors or the senior management on application of this program, because the results of the program are quite subjective. That is another disadvantage we can take here. Subjectivity in the results obtained by the program. We say that the employees are motivated. Can I measure the motivation level of the employees? Oh, the employees earlier were motivated by 2 kgs, now they are motivated by 5 kgs. Can we say that? No. That's the problem. The results of some of the programs is quite subjective. And when no measurement comes in, some people do not come to support those programs. So that's another disadvantage. Then third disadvantage, what can you say here? See, you remember this clearly said that it has to be aligned with the business strategic objectives. Let's use this. Lack of alignment or non-alignment between the objectives of the program and the strategic objectives of the business. Between the program objectives and the organizational goals. Okay, now discuss if there is a disconnect and they are not in sync with each other, it can lead to not giving the best results. Okay, then we talk this. Okay, we can take this also. Lack of involvement of people because they are not agreeing. That is one point. Another is because they do not have time to work for the training of the employees. So you can add on this work pressure thing here itself. Lack of support across the organization can be on account of not feeling worth investing in it. Feeling investment not worth. Investment in talent management program not considered worth doing. And work pressure on managers where they cannot invest time in training their juniors for their growth and internal betterment of the employees. Okay, so we can club it here. Then there are some staff members who, even if you run a talent management program, they may still not be fit for the next roles. They may be disgruntled staff, they may be staff which lacks experience. Even if you are training them, certain things come with experience, right? So let us talk about this also, that even if the program launches, there can be still some roadblocks where employees cannot be replaced or promoted on senior positions because of lack of maybe experience, maybe some regulations. Then another problem, it can lead to biasness also. Why? Some teams get more trainings, some teams may get lesser number of trainings, and the employees can see this program as a biased program. Let me give you an example where some companies may need more trainings and some may need less trainings. Let's suppose we are talking about artificial intelligence. On a daily basis, there is a new development happening there. So if there is a team which is dealing more with artificial intelligence, they will need regular trainings. But when it comes to routine items, let's suppose posting journal entries in the ledger, these teams do not need those many trainings which the artificial intelligence teams need. Now the accounting team, the journal entry team may feel that the program is biased towards them. They are being given lesser trainings. The program does not want them to be develop more, while the program wants only the artificial intelligence people or teams to develop more. That sense of biasness, they may feel that there is a biasness, and this can lead to dissatisfaction, and disgruntled employees can arise because of this. So sense of biasness can get created. can take place. Now, in the explanation, write this example. That's absolutely fine. That some teams work in their niche. They are so much involved in one department, which may require lesser number of trainings or lesser number of opportunities for them to grow. On the other side, there may be some roles which require more focus, and the teams which are given lesser number of areas to develop, they may feel the program to be biased towards other teams or towards them. Okay, so these are the disadvantages, and when you close them, just give a closing statement here that the above advantages and disadvantages cater to the talent management programs which works for organizations. But the major point to note here is, if the talent management program aligns with the objectives of the business, it gives results which are more than the risks associated with the program. Okay, just closing statement, the way they closed it here, that even if there are significant challenges, still it offers many benefits and many businesses can benefit with it. Okay, so we have done this, and now I can erase this requirement. So always whenever you are just closing your answer, do check if you removed the question from there. Okay, now in this question we are left with task 3 that we'll complete in the next session, and we'll be done with the complete paper by that time. Okay, so we have part A and part B here. Part B is interesting. We will be preparing the presentation slides, but okay, let's connect for this in the next session. Till the time you have to complete this part, till here you have to complete independently. Keep on explaining what I have covered in bullets. So you have to complete the explanation of those parts, and we'll catch up for the next task in the next session. Thank you so much and take care.